Welcome, Piscean seekers, to December, to the Existential Shift. December 14th is the Existential Shift's birthday. You thought I'm going to talk about the eclipse. Yeah, the shift isn't a fucus. All right, okay, Pisces. I'm recording this on the lunar eclipse in Gemini, the full moon. And as a mutable, as a fellow mutable sign, you're probably going to feel it as well. But we're all going to feel it in one way, shape, or form, consciously or subconsciously. But Pisces. How will Pisces see through December? Ooh, Neptune just went direct, your own ruler. I don't hear anybody talking about it, and I'm feeling it, you know. I think we're in a very spiritually connected time, and Neptune is our conversation with God. So I find it really meaningful going direct. I don't think I'm the only one finding it meaningful, don't get me wrong, but these are such karmic, meaningful times, right? And everything happening in such amazing synchronicity and conversation, like choreographed conversation, choreographed dance in the sky. Neptune going direct. 2 eclipses, a lunar and a solar. Winter solstice, which is also the Great Conjunction, the Mayan portal, December 21st. And of course, it's the holiday season. It's Hanukkah, the holiday of miracles, and it's Christmas, the holiday of ascension, and it's almost like it's all here to tell us it's not in your head. God is sitting right here amongst you, listening to the conversations, taking notes, willing to learn and evolve themselves. Because if there's one thing we can all agree, this journey can hurt. Does it have to hurt like that? I mean, yeah, we understand the system behind it. We understand the yin and yang, the hermeticism, life and death, cycles, positive forces, negative forces, completing one another, creating one another, and so on. But if the system is made in such perfection and the equations are so accurate, if you could have come up with all of this, why not come up with a system that doesn't hurt so much? Can't we learn and grow through love and inspiration and connectivity? I think Spirit is amongst us, not just to get us through this time, but also to take notes and listen. It's not just us listening to Spirit, it's Spirit and the Divine listening to us. This is when the child speaks to their parents saying, I'm in pain. The way you raised me hurt. I know you mean well, but there's got to be a different way. And God is like the song, what if God was one of us, just a slob like one of us, just a stranger on the bus trying to make its way home. I think we forget sometimes when we say that we are in God's image and made by God and from God and our little gods ourselves. Okay, well, then that means that God can make mistakes, and God is growing, and God is learning, and God is changing and evolving. It's not just us that are going through evolution. The planets are going through evolution. That's why I don't follow the strict word when it comes to planet's character and what it is that they're supposed to be doing right now if this and that is happening. I'm like, they're also changing, We evolve as the universe evolves. We evolve together. As above, so below, as within, so without, and back. I feel like throughout all the Abrahamic religions and other philosophies and faiths and spiritual belief systems, we've learned so much from spirit, right? All the books are written. All the prayers are sung. And now I feel like God is just sitting, listening to us. The next Bible, the next book, won't be us translating God's word. It will be God translating our word. I think December is that portal where we truly grow into our equality with the divine. Where our hearts are like, I deserve to say my piece about this. I deserve to take part of this architecture. Maybe the 1 and 0 programming of this matrix. It's brilliant, yes, but is it good? I keep talking, we keep talking. The ancient wisdom keeps talking about unity consciousness. And I say it a lot, and I will say it again, and other people say it too, and it's good. More and more people say that union isn't neither side of the extremities, it's an integration of the extremities. Alchemy is two matters conjoined into a new creation. That means in order for us to be in unity consciousness, we gotta integrate the extremes. It can't continue the system of good and bad, happy, sad, ease versus pain. There's got to be a silver lining, a rainbow that is still unique and still interesting and still diverse. But within beauty and within love and within joy and within abundance. Talk to God, Pisces, to your God, Goddess. Tell them how you feel. Pisces, all signs, any seeker who's guided here and listening. Be like, listen, I know I'm supposed to be quiet and listening to you, but you know what? This is not that kind of conversation. This is not me telling you, please give me this and do this, and can I have this, and can you do that, and can you take that, and can you resolve this, and can you make that person, and can you bring over? No, it's not that type of conversation. I think things need to look different from here on. I think the circle of life and Darwinism and the strong surviving over the weak, I don't think that's working anymore. I don't think there ought to be carnivores and herbivores. I don't think we need to feed ourselves at the expense of another. Ashes to ashes? Why? If it works differently in other dimensions, why does it have to be like this here? Tell them. I tell them all the time. I'm like, you know what? It's effed up. It's pretty. It's poetic. It's magnificent. But effed up. This soulmate of mine that died, not right. This friend of mine that got sick, not right. This shame, no, none of it. Yeah, we do it to ourselves, but we do it to ourselves because we can, because it's part of the mechanism. It's there for us to reach into. It's there for us to choose within the realm of free choice. Why is it even on the shelf? Take these goddamn things off the shelf. And I know what you're going to tell me, but it is off the shelf. All you got to do is to heal yourself is respect and acknowledge Mother Nature that has all the herbs and all the plants and everything at your disposal to be and remain healthy. And yet we don't do that because we have the possibility to choose rot. It's on the shelf. And you know what God's going to say? Yeah, I know. I'm taking it off the shelves as we speak. It will answer back to you. I bet it will tell you you're right. I'm on it. All the planets in Capricorn are now moving into Aquarius. I am dismantling this structure. I know, and I'm sorry. I tried my best. I'm just one of you, and I make mistakes. Pisces, thank you for channeling your energy into me, allowing me to channel this message. I've been thinking about it for a long time, but I think it's the first time I'm saying it clearly in a video. Please share that with people, and you know what? I'm going to cut the part of it and edit it into a Instagram TV on my IG, on my Instagram. And if you want to go there, I'll probably upload it in the next couple of days. If you want to go into my IG, the Existential Shift, and maybe share it or whatever. I don't know, up to you. I just thought of that. Okay, here we go. Two of Swords. One more card. Two of Swords in the upright, Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. Someone is suppressing her femininity because she sees it as weakness. When she expressed femininity, when she expressed care, when she expressed compassion, devotion, giving, it was probably abused and taken. So now she exerts strength from a masculine mental place. Extremely discerning, cutting, emotionally, compartmentalizing. This, I can feel something for this. No. It's been a mechanism that has served her well in ways of surviving and healing for a duration of time, but now it's time. It's time to go back to your heart. You are not alone in the world. You're not meant for abandonment. The spirits didn't bring you here to serve a purpose, but suffer through it. No. Say no. This is not my destiny. This is not my manifestation. You can say no. Show me more. Ace of Wands, Ace of Swords, sorry, Nine of Wands, Nine of Wands. I'm working with the Spellcaster's Tarot, by the way. Good. From Two of Swords to Ace of Swords. Also, this person has experienced a grave sense of loss. And since then, they have been in a very strong fight or flight mode. I would go to say PTSD. There's a very strong sense of mistrust when it comes to men. If this is you, zero judgment. Like, you had to do that at one point, okay? But now you are literally burning it to the ground. Like, you are very adamant, or this feminine is very adamant with not letting it consume her. Because her heart is on fire. This is a very sentient person. And because she doesn't want the sentiment to burn her, she's closing it off. But the irony of it, it will just burn her on the inside. No bueno. The Star in the upright and the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. This is picking up strongly on soul retrieval. When we do work in order to bring back our split and lost pieces of our soul, what happens is during traumatic events, super painful events, we disassociate. We become, what's the word? Fragmented. The brain does it to self-preserve, to protect. Something is too painful, it's too much, you can't handle, so the brain just disassociates from it, puts it in like a separate compartment in the brain, and continues functioning with other aspects of the self. Sometimes it just taps into other aspects of the self, sometimes it creates new aspects in order to survive, which is, it's good and it's great, and we're thankful for this brilliant mechanism that helps us through very difficult situations. Problem is when it gets stuck and cycled, and we don't find our way back to self. So this is finding our way back to self, where you meditate or go back into events that were very painful and traumatic, into the Pandora box, which is what the star card represents, by the way, in myth. Going right into it and retrieving what was lost in the event. So imagining that you're going through whatever traumatic event or difficult situation, seeing the emotion, seeing what is happening, and just asking for the energy from the place and from the situation to return to you, because it was shattering, right? So a lot of energy was either taken or just spread, dispersed. So you're going back to the event in your mind and just imagining how the energy returns to you. If it involves a perpetrator, someone who hurt you, be it a difficult parent or a partner or an attacker, anything. This could be a difficult conversation you had with your boss, where you felt shamed and humiliated or not respected. It can be anything really that kind of struck a chord. Going back there and taking back the energy that they've taken from you. Just really imagine it going back in. And it's either what you're doing or what you are guided to do. You can do it. This is like going back in time with your soul, which is not a problem, because soul level and higher frequencies and higher dimension, time is not linear. It happens simultaneously. So you can literally just hop into different events in your life, past, present, future. And then when you change the past, it automatically changes the present. So you become different. The scenarios that are built based on that trauma or separation or fragmentation, it becomes unified. Suddenly someone you haven't spoken to in a while reaches out. Things like that. Or you feel inclined to reach out. It's like energy just aligns. Okay? It's like if you heal the root, then the plant grows well as well. Show me more, please, for Pisces for December. Hierophant. There's a lot of Aqua and Taurus here. I have 2 Taurus cards on the table. I have an Aqua card, but also in the Wheel of Fortune we have all the fixed signs, which is Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Leo. Hierophant and the Star. There is an aspect of faith. This is very much so the conversation that we just had about God being one of us. There's an aspect of the Hierophant in this deck, though. It's quite abrasive, though, to the divine masculine, the divine feminine of pagan times. It's somewhat the system with the blank face, how it should and could and need to be. This is the structure, and it's like with a whip, right? To this man and woman that are naked and colorful, and from from the instincts and from nature and from the Great Mother. And it's very, and there's something about, I think something about it you're going to recall, maybe from past lifetimes or just from your own culture or heritage or religion, however you grew up or whatever faith structure you hold. There's something about liberating your spirit from any sort of dogmatic way of believing. Like you're opening up to maybe, I think some of you might start learning a lot about pagan times, like pre-count, when it was matriarch, and when it was tribal, when the connectivity to the divine was through the elements, as it is, because the elements are divine, you know, earth, water, fire, air, it's all, you know, it's life force. And I think a lot of you are connecting to that place of pagan faith, witchy faith. I think some of you, the soul retrieval that you are guided to do, you need to do it, go back to past lifetimes, to a time where there was some sort of suppression to your faith and to your way of life, especially as a feminine. Now, you can be a man today and maybe you've been a woman in a past lifetime, or keep in mind we all hold masculine and feminine energies, and men, it's very important for men to honor the divine feminine and the Great Mother. She is your mother, she is your sister, she is your wife, she is the mother of your children, she is your teacher. You're getting the drift. Someone's is being struck by a strong sense of inspiration and truth and insight to spirit, to beyond the veil. There's great spiritual awakening. Someone is really kind of rising from, I'm feeling someone really rising from oppression, even someone who felt oppressed. And if you haven't experienced oppression in this lifetime, you might come from a past lifetime of this. Please watch, if you haven't, my karmic shift and liberation that I've done for all the signs. There's one for each of the signs. There's a free example on YouTube for Ophiuchus. It's called The Immigrant's Empire. And you can find your own sign either on Vimeo, below, the link is below, or on my Patreon on tier number 3. It includes all of them for unlimited streaming, alongside the extendeds and other things. But either way, find your way to check it out, because I feel like, because it goes deep into past lifetimes as well. Anyway, there's a sense of committing to a new path that aligns more with your truth, Pisces. Some of you have been kind of detached from it because some aspects of it brought you into a lot of pain. This is a very spiritual reading, I have to say. Let's continue a little bit more. Show me more for Pisces for December, please. Show me more for Pisces for December. Seven of Swords. Yeah, you're trying to escape some... This could be an oppressing relationship. This could be an oppressing society. You want out, Four of Pentacles, but you are counting your losses in ways that hold you back. You're like, but what about this? What about that? I can't leave this. I can't leave that. What will happen to me? How will I do it? Eight of Swords. Some of you are feeling really, really shackled to whatever this is. And you need to understand this goes deeper. It's not the thing. It's not the person. It's not the relationship. It's not the job. It's more so what it represents, which is something very, very oppressive from a past lifetime that taught you that you can't survive or can't live without it. It's almost like, you know, the so-called spiritual teacher that tells you, or priest or rabbi or whatever, that tells you that without that religion or without that faith or without them, you wouldn't make it, or God will punish you, or go to hell, and all, the fear of being burned in the flames of hell kind of thing. Oh, if I eat this or if I do that, I'll be punished for it. It's really embedded in you. Someone like something really like shoved a set of beliefs into you that is very, very toxic and very. It's very rooted now. You do have the awareness now. You are aware of it, but emotionally you're still feeling shackled. Show Pisces a way out, please, for December. Page of Pentacles. Okay, one more. Jesus. Wow. Wow. Five of Pentacles and the Hangman, both in the reverse. And they fell right on top of the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. Study. Knowledge is power. Study the past. Study the truth about whatever this is. And let it liberate you. Let knowledge liberate you. Go back to a time where you felt like you lost everything, or you sacrificed something big, or you felt abandoned or left, or ostracized, and take back, retrieve your soul pieces. It's just, it keeps coming up to do that work, because it will give you energy, it will give you strength, it will give you knowledge, it will give you clear insight, and it will unbind you. Okay, because it's psychological. You're not really shackled to this person. You don't have to spend your life with them. It doesn't have to be your story. They are not necessarily your savior. They are not the only ones who could ever love you. They're not like, sit and feel. Are you happy or are you miserable? If you're miserable, that's your answer. Anything else more tangible for Pisces for December, please? Wow, guys, this is just unbelievable. High Priestess and Six of Swords. Read about, you know what? Okay, I'm going to give you some massive homework. Read The Mist of Avalon by Marion Zimmer Bradley. The Mist of Avalon. It gives the feminine perspective on the times in Camelot and King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table and all that time frame, but it gives it from the perspective of Morgane Le Fay, of the High Priestesses, of the women in the story. And it's phenomenal. Men and women alike. I highly recommend to read this book, because A, it will remind you of where you come from. It will boost power into you and explain certain things to you. I feel like because it's just, Avalon is coming up really strong here. Something about, the High Priestess and I mean, you can't make this shit up. So, not everybody knows this, but fun fact, the Excalibur, alongside swords in general from those times, were forged by High Priestesses. And if you look back to times of Vikings and the Norse tribes, it's shield maidens. Okay, it was actually women who forged swords, both for themselves and for their fellow men warriors and royalty. And in myth, especially for royalty and very important people, it was the High Priestesses that forged the swords. And the Excalibur was forged by a high priestess of Avalon. So there's something about that time, you know, paganism, Celtics, Norse, runes. By the way, in the extended, I do a tarot reading for you and your person of interest. We'll go deeper into your love life. And then we'll also do a rune reading. We actually have them right here. That's interesting. So we got the Hangman in the reverse, but you can see surrounded in this deck, Spellcaster's Tarot, surrounded with runes. All of these symbols are runes. Runes, if you're not familiar, rune in Gaelic means secret. And they are a language and letters, and they have ancient symbolism and archetypes and foresight, right? They're a very ancient occult system, divination tool. I'm sorry, definitely more ancient than the tarot. Some will argue it's the most ancient, but others will say it's the I Ching, whatever. You're all my children, you know. And here we have Peldro as well. We have the runes here. I don't know, something about it. Something about it. You want to read more about it, investigate more about it. The new moon, which is, by the way, the new moon on the solar eclipse on the 14th. So the solar eclipse is actually an Ophiuchus eclipse, because I'm not entirely sure if it's a new moon in Ophiuchus as well. I know it's in Sagittarius. I need to calculate. I'm not sure if it actually falls in Ophiuchus. I would not be surprised. But the solar for sure is in Ophiuchus, because on the 30th of November all the way through December 18th, it's the Ophiuchus constellation, the 13th sign, which is very, very meaningful for the divine feminine, for the awakening of the ancient divine feminine and the ancient wisdom. And so something about it, Pisces, is guiding me to tell you to just delve deeper into it. I think you'll find your power there. I think you'll find your sense of belonging there. Maybe you were afraid to leave whatever it is you were bound to or feeling bound to, because you didn't know where to go instead. And maybe this will help, serve as something to help make the transition easier. Okay, you're not just leaving an apartment, you actually have a place to go to. It's not just moving out, you're moving somewhere else, and that's definitely easier. Okay, does that make sense? All right, guys, I love you very, very much. I'm very, very proud of you. I will do a double pentagram extended to see into your love life. It will see into you and your person of interest, the dynamic, the mindset, the heart set, the behavior, and how things unfold. Runes as well, as I said. Find it below on my Patreon and on my Vimeo. Links are there. Check out Tarot Masterclass if you want to study tarot from me. I'm on Instagram. If you're new to my channel, subscribe. Press the bell button to receive notifications. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if this resonates with you and how. Okay, I would love. I read your comments and I really enjoy it. If you feel inclined to join as a member to the Existential Shift, press the join button. It's a very, very humble monthly membership where you get to reciprocate my energy. And it adds up and it's great. So thank you for all my members. And of course, thank you to my patrons. And that's it. That's it, guys. Happy holidays. Happy Hanukkah and Merry Christmas. It's very symbolic to have both a Jewish and a Christian holiday. That are, and especially when the Christian holidays sourced from pagan holidays. So everything is just really, really synchronized at this time. I think we're definitely stepping into a new old world. Check out my video that I did, Prophecy Unfold for the New Earth. I think you can benefit from it. Wow, this was intense. I love you guys. Bye for now. Stay magic. Stay true. I love you.